God damn, it got late. Right, so this will be first video of first trade recap, market recap, and then I guess final points at the end. Kind of following up on what's happening on the day and probably what's going to happen tomorrow. Today's Monday, January 5th. It's 10:08 right now as I'm recording this. So first, let's look at the $100 to 100K challenge today. Unfortunately, we started with a loss. Very difficult day. You guys will see on the chart. And as you guys can see, I'm gonna try to pull up on the camera. Right there, I think you can see that I am oh man, it's not focusing. But essentially you guys are gonna see, like, I'll show you guys the Discord. But I lost total PNL yesterday was 17. I lost $17.02. 17% of the account is pretty bad, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get back on it. So first I'm gonna show the I'll show the Discord, honestly, because just like to show you guys that I actually do follow up on everything I say. I just want to make sure that I'm showing the right thing. I don't know why it's not showing the correct. I don't know why it's not showing the correct one. It's not the one. I guess I'll change it. I'll change it here. So whatever. There we go. All right. So you can see from today, start off the day right here. Just kind of like, I initially had a bearish bias. I'll show the chart in a sec, but I just had, like, you see, bearish bias, neutral bias, depending on whether we trade out of the 4 hour or not. Kind of had this as an outcome for today, thinking that we're going to have a little bit more volume. And as you can see, like right here, there's just nothing going on. Literally saw nothing. Nothing to say about this, to be honest. So I'm going to open TradingView now, and we'll go over the NQ chart to see what happened, man, because today was fucking disgusting. It was actually so sad. So here we go, TradingView. All right, let's just go back to the 4 hour first of all, and we can hide the drawings for now. So I mean, looking at this now, this is clearly going to be a bearish reaction. I think that we're trading bearish right now. It was very difficult to read what price was doing, and you can see why from the lower time frames. But I was bearish initially because obviously we had this giant 4 hour gap. We were trading up into it. So I don't like to use the replay mode, so I'm just going to show you guys how it is. As much as on the daily chart, we were kind of, we did flip this daily gap right here. And we also had this like insanely bearish daily closure after taking out this previous day high. So I thought really that the daily profile right now looks pretty bearish, in my opinion. We took out these highs. We also have a high time frame S&T with ES. So if I go right here and look at ES on the daily chart, you can see that we still are holding this all-time highs bearish S&T. So this is bearish price action technically, or like a bearish indication. But anyways, moving into just today. So for the future, I mean, I believe that overnight right now, we're probably going to continue a little bit lower. I don't know if we'll trade all the way down to here to this new week opening gap, or if we're going to trade all the way down to here. That's my original bias. For me to flip my bias, I think we want to see if I see us trade out of this fair value gap yet again, like up into here, and then maybe take out these highs and don't see any reactions lower, then obviously I would think that we're going to continue going higher. We also did have news today at 10, but that didn't really seem to affect the market. So let's look at the drawings that we had for the day. Let's go down 30-minute first. And in this case, I will go to the replay mode just to show you guys like the pre-market open. As you can see right here, we're playing within this giant 4 hour gap. Right over here, we had very clear trendline liquidity right here. So very easy to imagine that off a 4 hour gap that is this big, this displacement, like this displacement, we'll see like a little bit of a flush down into all of these lows. That's kind of what I think a lot of people were expecting today. That's not exactly what happened, as you can see. I'll exit the replay mode. So we open, and let's go to the 5-minute to make it easier. We open and we go higher. First of all, look at this chop. Like, I mean, for the first 30 minutes of the market open, other than the market open candle, we chopped. We took out this like we took out like this liquidity right here, and we also did have this huge 5 minute gap. So technically I was waiting for this. So this would have been a valid short. We saw a pretty clear rejection of this 5 minute gap all the way back here. I kind of wanted to see us hold this 5 minute gap and continue lower, which we did get a setup for. However, I didn't like the way it looked like at all because of the chop. You kind of have to recognize, when something like this happens where we set up liquidity right here on liquid, like right here, so perfectly, you want to see a very clear move down. You don't want to see us hold this for too long. So as you can see, if we go, so I'll mark out the 5 minute gap right here just to kind of have you guys understand what I mean. We'll mark this 5 minute gap right here, which is already pretty small, but it's still a 5 minute gap, which we do have to like fully respect. So let's label this as a 5 minute right here. We go to the 1 minute, right? And what happens is, the reason why I didn't think this 5 minute gap was valid is because of all of this. Look at this. We push all the way up. There is no 1 minute gap. Usually if it's a 5 minute gap and a 1 minute gap and a 2 minute gap and a 3 minute gap, yes, chances are this is going to react and bring us lower. But look at all these wicks. We have 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks, 4 wicks. We have no strong move down. We just kind of are like pushing and resisting and resisting and resisting. And once I saw this right here, 5 minute gap, we close above the 1 minute. We see pretty bearish reaction. We don't have any 1 minute gaps, which essentially what it's telling me is, you know what? We're not actually displacing and manipulating to the upside. We're not leaving orders unfilled. This is just chopping around. This is just filling everything around here, around this range. It's just, this is right now, price is being traded fairly. There is no reason for us to go higher or lower. People are buying and selling at the exact same range. I mean, don't forget this is like a few dollars range for a $25,000 price asset is very little. So you kind of have to recognize, you know what? It seems like people are trading fairly. There isn't really an escape. I like to escape, like the price escape in a certain direction. So if in this case, for example, we had a super strong bullish move up here, we had 1 gap, 2 gaps, 3 gap, and then we flip it, that looks pretty good, because that tells me this is momentum to the upside. We're probably going to start selling some sell orders up here if we want to respect this 5 minute gap, pushing us lower into this liquidity. But you can see that nothing really happened here. It's not really anything going on. So you have to, it is an experience thing, but you do have to recognize that. And the problem with that is, again, this is from my personal strategy, my personal way of reading the market. Some people might have fucking had their perfect day today because of all the chop. I don't know how you trade around chop because there's so much uncertainty. I have no idea where price is going to go. My main indicator is direction of liquidity. I have no idea where price wanted to go today. I thought at first, because of this big dump down, I mean, you can see how this looks very bearish. I thought the direction of liquidity was right down here. It's pretty obvious, doesn't it? This down here, down here, down here, down here. Seems pretty clear. But once we start seeing a move up back into, this whole range, or once we start to see this chop, I have no idea where we're going. So I'm like, you know what? Why would I take a trade on this? I'll explain the loss that I had a little bit earlier. It's a different strategy that I use. It's only for the market open. It's I guess it's like a quick in and out strategy that actually works really well usually, but due to today's price action was not the best. I traded on YM and then on NQ as well, but I'll show that. I have a video on that strategy on my YouTube channel. It's a very simple strategy, just a level strategy, but I'll explain the I took a short on NQ because, again, I thought the direction of liquidity was this low right here. And I ended up, exiting at around like this point right here, which is obviously unfortunate because if not, it would have been a break-even trade. But even then, like, it was just bad price action today. Now, I don't like to trade anything past 11 a.m. because honestly, I don't like to be on the charts all day. But today, I made a little bit of an exception given that we didn't make any moves in the AM. We had news at 10, which, as you can see, did basically nothing right here. And I want to see maybe in the PM we're going to see a solid move, a strong move. What did I want to see? I saw us chopping up above the 4-hour gap, and my bias was completely messed up. I had no idea where price is going to go, so I'm already kind of like, I don't know if we really want to react lower right now because usually the expansion happens at the beginning of the 4-hour candle, not the end. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of just looking for a retrace into this halfway point, which is why I marked it right here. As you can see, it's from this low right here to this high up here. We got there. We didn't see any indication of us wanting to go higher. So once I saw that at 12, you know what? I called it for the day. And I mean, you can see that today is just absolutely nothing. Honestly, the second segment of this video is why the market moved today. I believe that today the market was really slow because of, the whole Venezuela situation happening. There's a lot of tension going on around the beginning of the year. Also, it is the beginning of the year and a lot of people are just coming back from vacation. Like this is kind of has to get the ball rolling again. We're not in the middle of March, for example, where price is going to move very cleanly almost every day. So we have to keep all those things in mind. And yes, if you trade a mechanical model, for example, like the inverse value up, which I love, this would have right here would have been a really big win, right? It looks beautiful on Twitter. It looks really nice. Oh my God, guys, look at this short. How'd you not take this? It was so obvious. We swept liquidity. We probably had an SMT. We were reacting off of a fair value gap right here. Wow, you guys are so stupid. Okay, yeah, but what about this one right here? What about this short right here? What about this short right here? If we're trading purely mechanical, what about that short right there? And I can go on and on and on about this. There's like a long right here. Why didn't you take this long right here? Why didn't you take this long right here? It's like, see, those are things that you can't just be trading mechanically. So in days like this, honestly, once you start to recognize with experience that you see this chop, I'm telling you, I used to try to fight it. I used to try to not want to trade, like not believe that there won't be a move and I wouldn't want to miss it. If you see the following action right here, like this, between 9:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. essentially, you're not getting a move for the rest of the day. You're not expanding in any direction whatsoever. So honestly, unless you have the time for it and you have discipline to stay on it, don't look at the chart because you're just going to be wasting your time. Backtest to go do something else. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. So yeah, it's just difficult day today. Not the best way to start the year, but it's all right. I only took a trade on my phone. I didn't take any trades on my fundeds because I don't like this velocity strategy for my fundeds. It's a little bit too risky, especially for risk management as well. You can get caught in some pretty bad trades. So I'd rather take it on my live account, which I'm perfectly fine with. Essentially, the strategy what it's composed of is you find areas of interest where price is likely to break. So as we can see, I'll get rid of this 4-hour gap just for clarity purposes. As you can see, for example, there's this area of interest right here. We can see that price is usually trading within this range right here. And once we break it, we make a big move. As you can see, once we break it, we make a big move. So that kind of tells me, okay, we are likely to have a level right here. So I mark it, I believe it was 670 if I'm not, no, 670 was the high level. This must have been like 25, something around, I believe it was right around here, 567, yes. Right around here, which covers all of these lows, and then you can go all the way back, like, well, that would be like way too far back, but see like all of this area of resistance, and then a little bit of resistance here. It wasn't the greatest level, but you can see like a clear range that if we break out of it, we're gonna target the lows. And no, I'm not targeting like all the way down here. Like I'm not gonna go for, like a 100-point trade. That's ridiculous. I'm going for like a 20-point trade at most. So what it does is like if you break the level, you make a retrace, and then you break the level yet again, you enter a short, usually target like something like this. You get like a 1 to 1.5, something around this line, like something around these lines right here. So unfortunately, I lost a trade today. As you can see, we pushed almost all the way down, but I ended up getting stopped out. So that's the short setup I took today. I guess I could start posting my level strategy, but once I have a little bit more confidence on it, then I will. I am gonna shout out the creator of this that I know of. This is Vito Commerci. Like the guy is amazing at this. He wins a lot. I don't know how he came up with it, but I think like if you do it properly, it works really well. And I'll show you why I use YM instead of ES for this. And a lot of people don't really understand YM, and it's actually very underrated. And funny enough, yeah, you can still see that I have the levels here. So essentially what it is let's go to the 5-minute. You go to the 5-minute chart and you just try to find areas of interest. We had a very clear area of interest right here based on all of these lows and then this recent high. I mean, We unfortunately didn't get the retrace, but honestly, you could have taken it off like any point and you would absolutely cooked today. You would have cooked. I mean, look how, this is what I'm talking about. This is like such a quick strategy. I'm targeting this. Look how much higher I could have gone. I could have gone miles higher. I could have gone all the way up here. Obviously, that's not the strategy itself, but you know, it's a pretty powerful strategy if you catch a good day, especially in US 30, which moves, or YM, because it moves so quickly. You could have easily targeted this high instead up here. You would have caught such a good trade, like a 1 to 3 RR. You put your stops like around right there, and then you would put your take profit at this right here. You would have caught, yeah, like a 1 to 3 RR. So yeah, that's what this strategy is composed of. I'm gonna leave the video at this, not to keep it super long. I think it's already long enough. It's just an explanation of, you know, what's coming next. And tomorrow we have, I believe we have no news. So let's take a quick look at that right now. I believe that tomorrow, Tuesday, is a no news Tuesday, and I am correct. So tomorrow I can expect price to go, you know, ideally in a better mood than today. But as of now, nothing you can do. You got to understand that these days are going to happen. You can't trade every single day. All you got to trade is the days that your setup presents itself. And once you learn that, you'll become much more profitable. Again, I don't want to make a prediction about tonight, but I could expect either price going up and trading above the value gap, which will likely place me in the long bias tomorrow for these highs and these highs. Or if I see a clear reaction to the downside, I'll likely to target these lows, or like these lows right here. Join the Discord. I'll put it in the description this time, where obviously I shout out every single little thing that I do. I put all my executions. I've showed it in the previous video as well. So definitely join that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this market recap. I'll catch you tomorrow. Today's Monday, January 5th. Big things coming, man. This might be the first video of many, but this is going to be a really good series. I'm going to record videos every single day. All right, peace out.